Well, this is a bit different than usual. Reviewing a costume! Whee! Okay, this is about the new um, Mirror Borg prosthetics costume options. See, one thing I noticed after tinkering with it for a while is that it's not actually a single set of costume parts. There's two main aspects to it. Head stuff, which you can mix and match with any costume category as far as I can tell. Or uniform stuff, which, as far as I can tell, that's mostly confined to the actual uniform costume category itself and is not usable on, well, much of anything that isn't a uniform. Also, there's a male and a female version of the uniform parts, and I'm not sure why, but they have certain fundamental differences that aren't just being shaped slightly differently. Well, time to look into all of these details. So, head attachments. There are actually only two. Eye attach, which is what has the glowing lens, and head attach tech. Now, if this was a Borg character, this actually does add to the list of eye attach options, so you can actually mix and match the default Borg eye attaches and, with the new stuff, and also the head attached tech stuff can also be mixed and matched, which is kind of cool, honestly. Actually, you know what? I was going to do this on the Quantum character because it's interesting doing it on a Credit. Well, okay, here, I'll just show you the results. Interesting with this because any eye attach can be seemingly be used with this, like this until visor thing here, which, that comes out rather nicely. Just lines up perfectly. Anyway, though, oh, yeah, anyway, it doesn't actually seem to have any differences based on species or faction, because I've looked at it on both factions and they seem to be exactly the same, more or less. Coloring. Okay, so the way the colors on this are set up is kind of strange. Color 4 here is this glowing dot, and this glowing dot, which it makes sense, yes. And as you can see, it has a very wide color palette, so you're going to have a lot of options here. Now, the other parts are where it gets a little strange. Like you have one here for the cable, which, again, kind of makes sense, sure. Let's use this, okay, I'm trying to color match it to her shirt, and it doesn't want to color match to her shirt. Oh, wait, that's right. Okay, I'm color matching the wrong one. Dum 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 dum. What this one? Yeah, because when I tried using the color from her pants on the boots, it shifted it a few hues, and that's what I was clicking on. It still doesn't look exactly right, and that's one of the things about this that's a bit awkward, is that all of these parts have baked in colors, and they don't fully reshade properly. So some things just won't. Anyway, so here, let's like a gray color. Well, brownish gray, sure. Like, see here, this is the top part here, not the bottom part, and it's like a weird mismatch of the other parts. So let's shift this to something that's a light gray. Make it easier to see. See, it's like the top end of the cable is color 1. The bottom of the cable is color 2. It's those little like donut shaped attach points. And here, yeah, like I said, it's like different plates of metal. Okay, you know what? I will make this the light gray color to match. Hmm. This is one of those cases where I wish a costume part actually did have more than one color, because trying to match this to that changes the lens. Okay, fine. I'll try the other one. Not great, but it's just not great. Ugh. Yeah, this refuses to accept brown shades. Blah. Anyway, enough screwing with that. Close enough. Ugh. Anyway, onto the rest of the options. Now, the hip attached parts seem to be the same for everyone. And honestly, oh yeah, that's right. They don't go in this costume category. That's another thing. They don't actually go into all of the costume categories. He says this is uniform pants tucked high because, that's what the Krenim pants are. Well, if you switch the pants loose, and for this example, we have the XO3 ones. Now we see the Borg cables pop up. And, we could reshade those to match the other thing. Oh, yeah, that's the other thing. These are a bit odd because while there is the possibility of having 4 different colors for the costume, it only uses 2. And one of them is a highlight color for these little glowing buttons and nothing else. Like the little glowing buttons are the first color. Everything else is the second one. All of it. Not personally a fan of that, especially since, as noted here, the cable up on this actually does color separately than the rest of it. Why is this different? I don't understand. One of the arm pieces is set up like that too, for some reason. Don't know why that one's set up that way either. So let's see what happens to this when I change the costume. See, it literally just pulls it out. Loose, tight, nope, nope, more nope. So looks like that's only in loose or tight. Okay, let's just go up. Borg cables. This particular one, I would kind of wish had options, because that's a lot of cables, and it would be cooler if it's had, like, okay, a choice between one big cable or several small cables, or, all of the cables. Because currently all we have is all of the cables. And, maybe I would personally be much more interested in using it if it was just the small cables. I mean, obviously the big cables are dramatic and a nice option to have, but, all or nothing on this particular costume part's a little much. So I'm going to go with nothing for now. It's easier to see the other stuff if you don't have that in the way anyways. So, shoulder pad right. Now, these are not symmetrical. See this? Big, slightly decorated cable. I actually like this particular costume part with the cable. Here's a slightly smaller one with doesn't have those little like plates stuck in the middle of it, because of the way it attaches to a lot of the wrist attach items. Anything that covers most of your forearm, this just like sticks up to it near your elbow, works really nice with a lot of things. Coloring. This is a bit strange because of the fact that these crossbands are one of the colors, and also the color of the attachment points, and the rest of it's all one color. See, actually, hang on a second. Mm, hmm. Never mind. I was wrong. Yeah, okay. That's weird. Yeah, I was thinking. I think this might actually be a case where it actually like. No, no, no. It's just those discs. Never mind. I thought it colored these. Maybe I was thinking of a different costume part. Well. Oh yeah, I didn't show version 3. Version 3 is interesting because this piece it adds is actually the same piece that we have on the other side, but on the left side, it's just there by itself. This is the only option for left. Huh, weird. I don't really like the way it's twisted either. I think it's twisted like this so that it goes around the other one if you put all of them in there, but it just looks weird on its own. Notably, when you look at the one on this side, it's not twisted this way. It's bent, but it's not like that. I'm going to skip this one. Okay, so color. This is one of the most interesting ones because of the fact that this one seems to be gender specific. Only female characters can use it for some reason. And I'm going to guess that's a bug. It doesn't make sense to be something that's actually intentional. But that is the way the current state of it is right now. I everything I tried on male characters, I could not get this to come up, and I don't know why. Okay, chest gear. This doesn't come with one. Arm attach right. Well, let's scroll down so we can see that. Alrighty then. This is that big old Borg cable collection again. This one looks pretty cool. It's a bit of a different aesthetic, but this isn't an aesthetic that Stowe has used for Borg stuff in the past. And that's actually one of the things I noticed about this collection of parts is that it has multiple different Borg aesthetics. It's not all pieces that share a single motif, which, quite frankly, is rather baffling, but it is what it is. What is this? It's a highlight color for part of the base here. Why? I don't know. Color 1. Oh, this is the one I was thinking of. Yeah, this is a bit strange. Yeah, see how that isn't the entire thing, it's just like one band. Well, this here doesn't color that the other band. This is actually part of the base. Surprise, I know. And this is part of the rest of the base. Note how the base is still colored with the primary color that we applied to the cable. Why? Good question, I don't know. Because like you can clearly see here that it's the maroon color that I chose for the cable. This is what I was saying earlier about how sometimes it will combine colors for a single piece. This is combining the base's colors, and it's strange. Like if you want to see a really, really drastic one, just like change it to green or something. Like barely to twinkles on those. Arm attached left. Now, for females, this has two options. This, which is the same one we see on the males, and which matches the two leg pieces. And this, which matches the neck cables. Now, this is one of those things where you just like switch between the two parts and see just how drastically different the aesthetics are. But both of them are Borg kind of, sort of. Realistically, though, the smooth cable one, that's the one that's like a new, like distinctly mirror Borg thing. Textured cables like this are more in line with what we normally see in Prime Universe Borg, but even then, the Prime Universe Borg usually have a very fine texture to them, not ribbing like this. And also notably is that the arm attach right item is a completely different texture than this. Both of them. It's a completely different texture than both of them. So there's like 3 different textures here. Kind of odd. I'll keep this one. Actually, that's an interesting point, though, is that these 2 costume parts here, because of the way that they're textured so differently, they're also um what's the best way to put this? The drastic differences in the way they're textured also make it so that they don't have the color palettes work the same way on them. Oh yeah, actually, on this one you can see it's like I applied the color to the base, and it added seemed to add like a very faint hint of color to the other part. Or maybe I'm just imagining things. I don't know. Maybe I'm just imagining things. Anyway, though, the actual cable here. Dum dum dum. Yeah, notice how the coloring came out very different with those 2 different cables, because I applied the same color to them. Completely different looks. Now, let's see what happens if I switch this from cables 2 to cables 1. Yeah, that's like a different setup for how the colors are done. Also, notice how this shifted to gray. That's because it's not actually using the same color pickers. The game has up to 4 color pickers. Well, what it shows you isn't necessarily 1 and 2. This might actually be 3 and 4 for all I know. Both of them are using this color picker, but it doesn't have the same thing for this one. Why? Good question. I don't know. See what I mean? It's remembering the colors. It's just using different colors. Don't know why. But whatever. Anyway, back. There is no back piece. Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot something. The difference between male and female. On males, this costume part has a different name and a slightly different shape. Also, the cables 2 part, you can't use that one on males. It's just not an option. That is completely not an option on male characters. Don't know why, but it's not. Badge. Yeah, there's no badge option for this. Why this has the Enterprise mirror badges as options on the Krenim costume, I have no idea. Oh, I didn't know Krenim costumes had instant or rank insignias. Now I feel the need to look at them all. Okay, 1 second. I actually just got her because of the fact that the Krenim bridge officers use a slightly different setup of costume options than regular KDF bridge officers do. Why this is, I don't know exactly. It's kind of strange. But they do. Realistically, though, it's because the Krenim bridge officers were added relatively late in the game's history, and after a lot of the faction stuff was changed, how that worked. Anyway, though. Oh, there's no lieutenant commander one? Odd. Ensign, lieutenant, and commander. Okay, you know what? That is familiar to me. I have seen that before somewhere. Well, when I tinkered with the costume in the past, I just never thought of putting that in for a bridge officer. Oh. Okay. The second color seems to do absolutely nothing. Everything is just colored by the primary, it seems. Yeah, second color. Doesn't do anything at all. Anyway, though, wrist attach left. There isn't one. Now, wrist attach right, which I don't understand why it's only the right and not both, is that giant wrist probe thing that you use in the story mission. Honestly, looks pretty cool. And the way that the shoulder cables go, it does in fact have the shoulder cable connect to it properly. Um. Oh yeah, that's right. I undid those. Yeah, it didn't remember the color choices I did. Well, not really. Anyway, I did not. Okay then. So yeah, wrist attached left. Let's put in something that's just looks cool. Veteran decorated. Nah. Tsunkatsu arena. Too small. Mesh cuff. No. Kopali soldier. No. 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 Huh. To be honest, some of these old kit visuals are actually really, really interesting as costume parts, but the left wrist ones are all relatively small. You know what? I'm just going to go with the Intel thing because most of these things don't look like tech, and the handful of them that do are the ones that are too small to be interesting. Although, you know, looking at it from this angle, I guess the Doctor 2 one is okay-ish. Yeah, I just go with the Doctor 2 one. Here's the other one on so many things. Honestly, the Intel one, because the fact that it looks almost like you have an iPhone strapped to your arm, you know, it just looks functional and useful. And that is cool. Okay, now to color everything bronze. This is one of those things where I wish it was possible to intentionally make everything color linked. Because, hey, then you can just color everything all at once and call it good. But no, color linking in Star Trek Online is only when things are bugged and not working right. It does actually remember which colors I was using last time, which is nice. It's just that I have to put everything back in again. Also, it only remembers a certain number of colors, and once you go over that number, nope. Now, this is an interesting touch here. Notice how it's orange. Yeah. You know what? I'll make that crimson red. Crimson red kind of makes sense for this character. Actually, I thought I made this red. Oh. Oh, right. I tinkered with the colors, and then I reverted everything. Oops. Well, I guess they're going to come out a little bit differently this time. That looks pretty cool. Anyway, that's good. Now, what else we have here? Badge. Okay, this costume does not come with any options for hands or whatever, but you know, whatever you feel is appropriate, feel free to throw that in there. But yeah, interesting costume. It's obviously designed to go on a body armor style outfit. And okay, I'm going to save this so that I don't have it escape completely. Now let's go with modify and check to see what happens if I look at other costume categories. Like Mako, for example. Oh yeah, that's right. I don't have the actual Mako costume on this. All I have is the Jim'Hadar tactical stuff, which, while it gives me the colony's shoulder scanner option, it does not actually have any of the new Borg stuff in the Mako category. Nope, not in the Kobali one either. Which is one of the observations I made earlier. Certain things in the past got added to virtually every category, and I don't actually have the Iconian Resistance suit on this character either. However, any add-ons that were added to this category would be addable to the Jim'Hadar tactical suit, which somehow got added to this category. Don't know why, it just did. Discovery to Kuvma armor. Well, the shoulder scanner disappeared on this one. This is an incredibly limited costume. Like, there's a few glove options you can put in, and none of the Borg stuff. Red Angel suit. That's an interesting one. Nope, not here either. Torchbearer. I don't even know why I have the base a Torchbearer outfit. It's so uncustomizable. I don't want to use it. Seriously, when was this added to the game? Why do I have it? Klingon coat. Maybe this will be something interesting. It's not. Okay, there is actually a bunch of options you can put onto this one, but not the new Borg stuff. Genuinely don't know why the Klingon coat one exists. Borg exoskeletal frame. Well, no. You can kind of sort of combine them because of the fact that the face options are handled completely separately from the uniform. So you can have the face pieces from the new Mirror Borg stuff and the body from the Borg exoskeletal frame, or vice versa. But that's as far as it goes. Unfortunate, but it is what it is. Mokai tunic. No. All of the no. And now we're back to uniform. So yeah, it's basically uniform only, and not even all of the uniform categories work for it. And you know what? Let's look at a few more of the uniform categories. Like I mentioned earlier, like the leg cable parts only go in two of the pants categories, and only two of them. The loose and tight categories, skirts, tucked high and tucked low, do not have any of the new Borg stuff added to them, apparently. Why? Excellent question. I don't know. It's just not here. I can't think of any reason for it to not be here other than they just didn't put it in. Anyway, though, so let's look at some of these others, like jacket tight. Now, jacket tight, it makes sense to have all of the cables on it because the fact that jacket tight includes all of the old body armor props from that were used back when the game would override your costume visuals anytime you actually had something in your body armor slot, which people hated that for RP reasons. And I don't blame them, because seriously, needing to completely de-equip your body armor that you were wearing in order to have people see the costume that you created for your character was dumb. And also, while the body armor visuals are pretty cool, they're not that cool. Anyway, though, this does seem to actually have the full assortment of parts here. Let's just check the shoulder pad dual coin quick. Yeah, see, it's here too. Now, let's see, jacket loose. This also seems to be working properly. Bare chest. Nope. See, these two parts here, these are the two things that aren't part of the new Borg stuff. None of the new Borg stuff is in this category. Notably, we have a lot of options here, honestly. Just not the new stuff. Unfortunate, but it's just the way it is. And the armored category. Actually, you know what? I'm going to cancel and reload because it deleted stuff. Now we switch to the armored category to see if it works. No, it did not work. Nothing in the armored category. Why? Excellent question. I don't know. It's just not here. But yeah, that's like with the whole thing of like how it only works in two of the lower body categories and not any of the other three. Why? That's actually, you know what? I need to switch to the captain quick because of one thing that I noticed when I was tinkering with it on a captain character. Off duty. No, it doesn't go any off duty either. It just doesn't. Some things do, but not that. Like the Kobali shoulder scanner thingy, which got added to almost every costume category imaginable. The board cables, nope. Can't put them into an off-duty category. Beachwear. See, look, the shoulder scanner is even wearable with beachwear. Why? I don't know. It just is. The new stuff isn't. Now, notably, the new stuff part, which is the face stuff. Obviously, because that's unconnected to whatever you have in the uniform category, isn't actually going to be affected by this. So you can actually combine those after a fashion. It just doesn't really do a whole lot. All right, one last thing before I call this done. I know this got long. Let's look at the way that it's different for a male bridge officer. Let's look at the collar thing. Yeah, see here, it just, the Borg cables just don't pop up here. Like there's the brain thing here and some other things, but not that. Arm attach left. See, look how it's named cable and module, which that's not the way that it is phrased on the other one. And the way that the part is put together, it uses the same aesthetic leanings, but the actual piece itself is differently shaped. I'm not sure why. It just is. And I think that's it for here. I have to say, as new costume options that you get just by playing the episode, I like them. It's a new thing. It's really cool. I do feel that some of the things are a bit bulky and cumbersome and don't mix well with other options, but hey. And also, the fact that they're only seemingly available in the uniform costume category and don't go in any of the variant costume categories is kind of annoying because it drastically limits what you can do with them. And with that, I will close it here. See you guys next time.